Hey, Abnormal Family. Hope you enjoy this one as far as we're doing on the Is Bigfoot, Dangerous series. A lot of the videos right now are not getting the views that we've been getting. Uh, I think it's due to people are not being notified. I'm getting a lot of people saying they're not getting notified right now. So YouTube is back to their deals. Now, I'm going to do a short on this also. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start posting every new video I do to my Facebook page. If you're not on Facebook, look under the community section on my actual YouTube page, and I'll be posting all my new videos underneath the community. Also, I'm uploading to Rumble as a backup because I feel like they're really sanctioning this channel. They're really shutting me down. But if you can, guys, share it out, hit the like button. It means a lot. I found this one here. The lady remained anonymous in the story that I found. I thought it was a story I'd like to share with y'all to get your ideas on it. But I'll go ahead and share it as far as going with our series. And I think you guys will enjoy this story. Again, it was anonymous. It says, I was walking toward home one day many years ago carrying a big bundle of cedar roots and thinking of the young brave Quallock, Thunderbolt, I was soon to marry. Suddenly, at a place where the bush grew close to the thick beside the trail, a long arm shot out and a big hairy hand was pressed over my mouth. Then I was suddenly lifted up into the arms of a young Sasquatch. I was terrified, fought and struggled with all my might. In those days I was strong, but it was no good. The wild man was as powerful as a young bear, holding me easily under one arm with his other hand, and smeared tree gum over my eyes, sticking them shut so that I could not see where he was taking me. I thought that was really interesting. He then lifted me to his shoulder and started to run. He ran on and on for a long, long time, up and down hills, through thick brush, and across many streams, never stopping to rest. Once he had to swim a river, and then perhaps I could have gotten away. But I was so afraid of being drowned that I held tightly with my arms around his neck. Although I was frightened, I could not but admire his easy breathing, his great strength, and speed of foot. After going so far and doing all this, guys, he is still not winded. After reaching the other side of the river, he began to climb and climb. Presently the air became very cold. I could not see, but I guessed that we were close to the top of the mountain. At last the Sasquatch stopped hurrying. Then he stooped over and moved slowly, as if feeling his way along a tunnel. Presently he laid me down very gently, and I heard people talking in a strange tongue I could not understand. The young giant next wiped the sticky tree gum from my eyelids, and I was able to look around. I sat up and saw that I was in a great big cave. A cave again, guys. The floor was covered with animal skins, soft to touch and better preserved. A small fire in the middle of the floor gave away light that there was. There's the fire. What do y'all think, guys? Are they making fire? Do you believe they're able to do that? I think with their intelligence, I don't see why they couldn't. Even make, they could even make Dakota fires. As my eyes became accustomed to the gloom, I saw that beside the young giant who had brought me to the cave, there were two other wild people, a man and a woman. To me, a young girl they seemed, very, very old. But they were active and friendly, and later I learned that they were the parents of the young Sasquatch who had stolen me. When they all came over to look at me, I cried and I asked them to let me go. They just smiled and shook their heads. From then on, I was kept as a close prisoner. Not once would they let me go out of the cave. Always one of them stayed with me when the other two were away. They fed me well on roots, fish, and meat. After I learned a few words of their tongue, which is not unlike the Douglas dialect, I asked the young giant how he caught and killed the deer, mountain goats, and sheep that he had often brought into the cave. He smiled, opening and closing his big hairy hands. I guessed that he had laid in wait, and when the animal got close enough, he leaped, caught it, and choked it to death. He was certainly big enough, quick enough, and strong enough to do so. When he had been in the cave for about a year, or when I had been in the cave for about a year, I began to feel very sick and weak and could not eat much. I told this to the young Sasquatch and pleaded with him to take me back to my own people. At first he got very angry, as did his father and mother, but I kept on pleading with him, telling him that I wished to see my own people again before I died. I really was ill, and I suppose they could see that for themselves, because one day after I cried for a long time, the young Sasquatch went outside and returned with a leaf full of tree gum. With this he stuck down my eyelids, as he had done before, then again lifted me to his big shoulder. The return journey was like a very bad dream, for I was light-headed and in much pain. When we crossed the wide river, I was almost swept away. That's sad that they would be took like that in that long of a period of time. I was too weak to cling to the young Sasquatch, but he held me with one big hand and swam with the other. Close to my home, he put me down and gently removed the tree gum from my eyelids. When he saw that I could see again, he shook his head sadly, pointed to my house, and then turned back to the forest. Many people were all wildly excited when I stumbled back into the house, for they had long given up on me to be dead. But I was so sick and weak to talk, I just managed to crawl in to bed that night. I gave birth to a child. The little one lived only a few hours, for which I have always been thankful. I hope that never again shall I see a Sasquatch. What do y'all think of that story? I thought it was interesting. She said she did give birth to one. It did not survive. But I think it's funny is how he took her away and kept her in a cave. And a lot of these have been, happening in a cave or underground. And I think that, if the story is true, and she says it's true, that it just goes to show that caves are where they like to go, underground, dark places. And I like the fire, and that they had, the skins on the floor, so it shows a high intelligence. I thought it was a good one, guys, and I hope you're enjoying the series. I hope this one gets out a little bit better than the other ones have been. But I thought this was one well worth adding to the collection that we're doing, and I thought you all would enjoy it. I'll be going out here probably tomorrow or the next day, getting you all some video of the location I'm in, some of the area, the coal mines and stuff, to kind of show you why it's a hot spot. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you go out, be careful. Don't be something's dinner or carried away with tree gum over your eyes and never to be seen again or worse.